Hello, my name is Mariana and this is a reading for Libra. So Libra, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. Okay, Libra, so let's see where you stand here, because I feel like it's like you are receiving some sort of privileged view or like a vision of the future, that you are like having this sneak peek that is a very privileged position where you're seeing something in a close-up. It's like you are zooming in to see something in more detail, and I want to say it feels like a relationship. Okay, it's like you are zooming in to this entanglement or to how hearts connect. It's how it's coming through more. And because it's like it was on the other side of like a curtain, or actually like a black hole, right? And you were peeking through the black hole, and something that was impossible to be perceived by you, Libra. It's like you are getting this very privileged view, right? It's like you are having this sneak peek that, well, I want to say privileged because I feel like not many people get this view or get this advanced perspective behind this unknown that is the black hole. But as soon as you get this sneak peek and things, it's almost like adjusting the lens of a camera, right? This is exactly what I'm seeing here, and I'm going to show you why. But just to conclude this first thought, I feel like after you see this, after things get into focus and there is some sort of realization that comes with this zooming in, right? And you perceive it with more than just your sight or your vision, right? It's like you perceive it with your heart. Soon after that, things shift very quickly, and I saw you inside this washing machine, right? As if there is no up and down, right or left. It's like you lose every sense of direction, every sense of boundary. So there is this privileged view that is coming through with this magician, right? That actually came through like this. So the way that it fell on the ground was showing me that this circle here, right, is the black hole, and this part of the head of the magician is this, it's almost like this very powerful lens that can zoom in so far away to see like the tiniest of stars, right? See this like cluster of stars here? It's like it's only when you reach this level of privileged view, right? But more than that, it's like you needed this exact resource, meaning you needed this type of special lens so that you could reach through the barrier of the black hole and see through it and see what's on the other side of it, right? Which feels like, because of all of this white background, it feels there is some sort of surprise, right? It's like it's not what you expected to find on the other side of a black hole. And when you see this cluster, it's like you're trying to adjust the lens, right? It's like you have just crossed the barrier of the black hole, Libra, and you're now adjusting this lens so that you can get like really close to what you are starting to have a glimpse of. And the cluster of stars, when you zoom in, is this card, the Three of Cups. So that might be the surprise also, right? Because the sensation that I had is that the more like you get closer and closer and closer to this cluster of stars with this special lens, you know, on the other side of this black hole, meaning the other side of what was possible for you to perceive, right? It's like when you really perceive it more clearly, when you focus your lens to the point that you can identify what it is that you were just catching this very tiny but interesting glimpse of, right, with the special lens. So there is, it's almost like there is some type of resource or like artifact that is being used to see, you know, that far away, right? It's not something that you can perceive with your eyes, right? And I want to say not even with your mind's eye. I want to say it's something more. And I don't know what it is, but maybe it is a special lens, really, right? So with the Three of Cups, this was talking about, just a second, sorry, I'm back. So going back to this Three of Cups that I was mentioning, this is the zoomed in point of view that now you can see more clearly what you were just having the interest coming from, this, you know, shiny object that you couldn't really identify what it is. So what is this Three of Cups then, Libra, for you? This is talking about how hearts are linked together, right? It's like, I feel like this third heart here is your recent arrival with this lens, right? So you are perceiving how, I want to say like soulmates, how soulmates meet each other, or how they are, like how they are combined. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. It's like how they start off, or how relationships are made, or like what is the tissue or the fabric or the connection dots, the aspects like in each individual's hearts that are the connecting points between them, right? So it's almost like this, it's like this intrinsic feeling that pours into your heart, coming from seeing this very, very closely, right? And I don't really understand this, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is unexpected, right? It's like, this is not what you were expecting to find on the other side of a black hole, right? So I feel like there's a lot of like, what is going on here? Because especially when this Two of Wands showed up, remember, you are, it's almost like you are trying to see further with this lens that can go, you know, even closer to the furthest stars, to the furthest shiny dots in the sky, right? Or, you know, more than that. It's beyond something that you didn't have access to before you had this lens, right? So this, it's like when you adjust the camera and you're able to see this, it's like you are so zoomed in that the effect of this Two of Wands, right, being this, it's like it is a distant vision, right? It is still a perspective that you are, well, on land, and things are still far away, right? It's the complete opposite of what you were exploring in this outer space, or in this unknown territory, right? That everything is so different, and so, I want to say, so heartfelt. It's almost like on the other side, this exploration can only be guided, or can only be understood maybe, or can only be known through your heart, right? So when you realize what it is that you are actually perceiving, Libra, I feel like there is some sort of like a mind bug or something that brings you back to where you started, right? This Two of Wands is talking about, like, if you were going even further and even further, like zooming in and in and in, it's like suddenly all of those layers, or all of those steps that you were getting closer to the cluster of stars, or to the Three of Cups. Like, you are taken back to where you started very quickly because of the Eight of Wands. And I feel like there is a sense of losing your boundaries, right? It's like, it's almost like you have touched such a sensitive mystery of the universe, perhaps, right? It's like you have gotten a glimpse of something that is so basic in the sense that it's so like the fundamental layers of how relationships are made of, or how relationships are born, right? And I feel like this is all, it's almost like you were able, with the Wheel of Fortune coming next, you were able to stop the wheel for a moment so that you could analyze the fabric of it. And I feel like it's almost like, because nothing can stop this Wheel of Fortune, it's like it has to move in a certain speed. It's because I feel like that's the thing. It's like this artifact that you have gained access to, right? That gave you this sneak peek of the other side where nobody had ever accessed, right, before. So I feel like you, Libra, are, it's like maybe you are reaching the center of command of this Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like this is like giving you the perception, or maybe the illusion, but I want to say perception rather than illusion, that time is going different because of this like a very close look, right? It's like you can zoom in so much with this special lens that you can understand what is behind the dynamics that, you know, bring people together in this fateful manner. So when you are taken back to the place where it all started, right? Maybe when you receive this special lens, right? I feel like things move so quickly. It's almost because like you have stopped the wheel for a moment, but that moment is like when you went back, it's like the speed at which you were like, it's almost like, what is the name of the thing that, you know, you put like a, it's like a stick with an elastic band, and like you hold the tension so much, but when you let go of it, it's like it has so much momentum that the speed is incredible. It's like that. Or it's another thing, right? It's like the image that I was seeing within the, what was the reading? Leo or Cancer, the one that, you know, there is a structure and there is this, well, it's coming through now as an elastic band. Like this circle is only this way because is in tension, because of the structure that is holding it in tension, right? But it's interesting because in tension and intention is like the intention of this is to hold it in tension. I'm not going to go there because it's going to be a lot complex, but I feel like there is something that is being twisted, or it's like you're trying to untwist something and suddenly it's like you are like in this washing machine that you lose track of time, or like of direction and any sort of orientation, right? It's like there's something that happens really fast that takes you back to where you started, having like maybe some glimpses, but not entirely like this privileged view that you had now, right, Libra? And I feel like this, it's like this understanding really disorients you. It's like it's really knocking you off a little bit, because everything that you want when you are in this, like this spinning out of control washing machine, the Ace of Swords coming next, it's like the only thing that you care about, Libra, is the truth. It's like you want to hold on to this one piece of truth that will be like stable enough, or like this, it's like this point that is not spinning, right? Maybe we're talking about the center of the wheel, right? Because the closer you get to the center, the more immovable it is, right? It's like the more you go to the periphery is like the more you move. And I feel like this is what is happening to you. So it's like you want to go back to the center of it. Maybe you want to go back to understanding this, or to see this with a little bit more time to understand it, right? Because this is what is coming next with the Temperance card, right? This is the card to me that represents the higher version of the Two of Cups. But when you were having this closer look with the special lens of the Magician to see the the fabric of relationships, right? Understanding how relationships are born, how they are threaded together or woven together. It's like the points of connection, right, between people, between hearts. And so this is what you're trying to hold on to when you are, you know, spinning out of control, when you are losing control a little bit. And this connects to yesterday's reading, in the Virgo reading, about losing control. Or was it in Leo? I feel like it was in Virgo. But the truth that you are trying to hold on to, or I want to say it's like it's more like it's like you are trying to reclaim it, or you're trying to make this very truthful, but very, it's more than just honest. It's like a very direct and very like loud declaration. Like, I want to see the truth. I demand to know the truth, right? Because I cannot be spinning around like this. It's almost like I'm seeing you very, not stubborn at all, Libra. I'm seeing you like very, like seeing that the only alternative that you can, and I don't want to say stop this Wheel of Fortune, or stop the destiny, or stop this timeline, or just this lack of orientation that you might be going through after you have this closer look, right? You are intrigued. You really, it's like you want to go to the bottom of what is the true nature of connections, of relationships, of why people tend to, you know, be attracted to each other. What is that makes them share their essence, share their heart with other people, and vice versa. It's like you want to know the truth of relationships, essentially, right? And I feel like this is something that you are, it's like you really want to go, it's like you want to go deeper, right? It's like you want to go back in this outer space, in this unknown territory, you know, beyond the black hole, so that you can really, I want to say, study this, right? It's more than just experience it and feel it. Although on the other side, as we saw, it's like the only way of knowing it is through feeling. But it's like you want to see not only like a glimpse of it, it's like you want to see the whole thing. It's like you have this desire to understand it completely, right? To see the bottom of this truth of relationships. But what you're left with, I want to say, is the Three of Pentacles, that it's here in the bottom of the deck, which is interesting because underneath, oh my God, is the World and the Sun. So I want to say, what you're left with is something very earthy. It's almost like there is this distance again between the earth and the sun, right? It's like if you were, you know, getting this glimpse of what's beyond the sun. This is so crazy. It's like if you were, you know, achieving this ability to perceive really far ahead, right? And just really go beyond whatever limits you ever thought you could perceive, right? It's like you are taken aback. It's like you are taken back to the earth, and what you are left with, right? It's no longer the Three of Cups, but the Three of Pentacles. It's like what I'm hearing from this addition here at the end is like, I know that you're seeking the truth of this, but now, Libra, you'll have to deal it in a very mundane kind of way, in a very physical, human kind of way, right? It's like you will have to accept this distance, right? It's like you will have to accept that you can no longer, it's like you have lost somehow this artifact, right? So maybe it was because, you know, you were spinning in this washing machine of the Wheel of Fortune, but we'll see. I'm going to pull more cards for you, Libra, and see where this crazy reading is going. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be happy to see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.